Empower series. My name is Clifton Johnson, and I want to welcome all of my viewers in the United States and around the world. As I always say, I am excited about today's podcast and what we're going to talk about. I'm really just going to go all in on Empower series. I'm going to let you know how it started, what it entails, a little bit about what's going on in September. But before I get into all of that, I want you to definitely share this with somebody else. So get ready. Go ahead, if you're watching this on YouTube or on Facebook, go ahead and share the link with somebody else. Let people know what you're doing. The only way people are going to find out about the Empower series is if you share it with them. So please take the time to do that. Follow us on all of our social media. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, subscribe to it. If you haven't liked us or commented, please do so. Go to our website at www.empowerseries.com. We would love to get your feedback. So in the top right-hand corner, there's a survey link for you to click on. Please do that as well. But in the meantime, let's go all in on the Empower series. That's what we're going to talk about. For some reason, I had an epiphany that I really need to take the time to explain to you how the Empower series started, what were my thoughts behind it, and what it entails. So many people have asked me that before. I've answered it, individually one-on-one, but now this whole podcast is going to be dedicated to really giving you the backdrop and what's underneath the hood of the Empower series and why we cover 11 different topics every year, and we cover those same topics every year. So let's go all in. For those of you who may know, I was a financial advisor meeting with individual clients. I've done that for the past 20 years, and in doing so, I always would meet with people, whether they were high net worth or low net worth. I would meet with them and I would give them the same amount of time and attention. My vice president of sales told me that, Clifton, I know you have a heart for helping people. However, if someone is not really saving, then you can't really help them. And what he was basically saying is that if I can't give people a recommendation that they can act on, like saving money, investing money, buying life insurance, or whatever it is I'm recommending, if they can't act on that, then they can't really, they're not paying me to work with them, with people like that. And so I understood it, but I realized this. I realized that I didn't work for Ameriprise, I didn't work for JP Morgan Chase, I actually worked for God. And so if people took the time out of their life to meet with me, I had to give them the same amount of time I would give anybody, regardless of whatever their net worth was. So I did do this though. I did pray every day that God was putting me in front of some high net worth individuals so I can keep doing my pro bono work. But it got to the point where I said, let me go out, and not everybody's gonna come see me. So let me go ahead and put something out there in the community like workshops. And the workshops were simply not a prospecting tool. It was a way to provide to a larger community the type of conversations I have with my clients, my wealthy clients, to help them be more mindful of their attention and to take actions on their values and to manifest the things that they wanted out of life. And so it's interesting that I talk about manifesting their ideas or their intention. A part of my morning routine is looking at a website called greatday.com. And it's a daily motivational website, but today's topic was intentional attention. Intentional attention. And so I think about that because there are so many different things vying for our attention. We got TV, we got radio, we got Instagram, social media, we've got newspapers, we got everything vying for our attention. But if we're not intentional about giving our attention to things that we want in our life, we're going to be drifting. We're going to be drifting, and we'll end up someplace that we did not intend to be. So the Empower series is a way to help all of us stay on point and to give attention to the things that are valuable to us so that we can begin manifesting the things that we predominantly think about. And so that's the underlying essence of the Empower series. We do talk about financial literacy, we do talk about personal development, and we talk about things that you should know. But at the end of the day, if we don't look under the hood and realize that we are in control of our thoughts and our ideas and what we give attention to, then we're not realizing that we're the captain of our ship. So that being said, I wanted to tell you about how I started the Empower series, what the idea was, and we all are searching for some type of purpose. I would tell you that in every job that I did, I was always pursuing my purpose, which was to help people and to inspire people and to motivate people and give them a positive experience. Wasn't always successful in all my interactions. However, that was my intention. And when I started doing the Empower series, I called it the Empower series because this is really about mindful empowerment. I believe that life is a manifestation of our ideas. And we all have ideas, and we probably have not acted on some ideas, but then we acted on some. But regardless, whatever ideas we have that we're acting on, it will usually manifest around us over time. And so the Empower series is about being mindful of the attention that we give our goals and our purpose in life. And the first thing I would tell you is, how do you identify how do you identify your purpose? Rock T's wife spoke at an event once, and she said, whatever makes you cry is a hint of what your purpose is. And so I'll just be real with you. I'll be very transparent. There's two things that make me cry. Well, there's more than two things that make me cry, but the two biggest things that make me cry is when I see a father making sacrifices for his children and for his family. And I say that because when I was growing up, I didn't always appreciate the sacrifices that my dad made. However, when I look back at that and look at all of the sacrifices that he's done, it inspires me to do more and to model his level of sacrificial leadership and service leadership. So whenever I see that, I get some emotional feelings that kind of well up and tears start coming out my eyes. I say that because my purpose is to be a good role model and father for my family, and to be the type of father that my father was in making sacrifices for his family. Now, my father had a lot of problems like we all do. He wasn't perfect. However, he did make the best sacrifices he could to provide a good, loving environment for us and to give us a good education and to give us a good launching pad to achieve our goals in life. But the second thing has to do with an experience that I had a couple of weekends ago where I went to see my son who's in New York. He's not in New York anymore. He was doing an internship over there. And when I went to New York, I actually went to the 9/11 museum, and I've never experienced that before, but I went to the museum and I saw a documentary called the 9/11 Boatlift. I'm not sure if you've even heard of that, but what happened during the towers collapsing was a lot of people who were on Manhattan, went south, and they found out that Manhattan is an island and they couldn't go anywhere. And so the Coast Guard put out a call to all vessels to help get people off of Manhattan. And I mean, hundreds of boats came to help. They came together, and within a course of, let's see, how long did it take them? In a short amount of time, I think it was actually in maybe 5 hours or something like that, I might be wrong, but over 500,000 people were taken off of the island of Manhattan and taken someplace in such a short amount of time. And that was the record. The only other time there's been such a massive evacuation, boat evacuation, was during World War II in Dunkirk, the Dunkirk evacuation, where they rescued 338,000 troops, Allied troops, during that time. But the reason I'm bringing that up is because when I was looking at the documentary and I saw how people just all rallied, they came together as a community to help. They didn't look at race, age, gender, or anything. They didn't care. They just came and helped. And that, for me, created a sense of community. And I say that because that's the other thing that kind of pulls on me, and that's the underlying purpose of the Empower series. I call it the Empower series community, right? The Empower series family. And so it's something that is out there, and my vision is to have the Empower series in every major community in the United States. I'm here in Dallas, so we do in-person workshops here in Dallas, but we live stream our workshops all over the world. So our community has no boundaries and no geographical boundaries. But I give you that experience, the story of 9/11, because that welled me up. It made me cry. I watched it twice and I cried twice. And I'm thinking, why is it crying? And back to what Rock T's wife said, whatever makes you cry, that might be a hint of what your purpose is. So my purpose right now, outside of being there for my family, is to really ensure that the Empower series continues to grow. And it continues to grow as I pass the idea of the Empower series to the next steward long after I'm gone, that it continues to grow. That is my purpose. And so I'm going to take the time now to explain to you what the Empower series is, the 11 different topics of every month. We have a different theme. I'm going to give you some tips and some action steps of why I think those themes are important, and what are the action steps you can take during each theme, and not just do it during the month, but do it every day. Be mindful with it. I talked to you about my morning routine. I wake up in the morning. I thank God for me waking up. I do some light stretches. I look at the daily motivation, greatday.com, and then I start going through my affirmations and my vision board. And so in January of every year, we start with vision board and goal setting. So we do a vision board workshop and a goal setting workshop. And we start with that because, as I mentioned before, what you give attention to grows. The Empower series in your life, we become our most predominant thought. So if you wake up every day thinking about your goals, you have a greater chance of achieving them than if you just write down your goals on a piece of paper, put it aside, and never look at it again. So if you just do that on a regular basis, imagine doing that for 30 days, and then the next 30 days, and the next 30 days, and then in a year, where you will be in accomplishing your goals. What most people do, and I've been a victim of this as well, we set an intention to do something and we're not consistent. And I find that when I've succeeded, I was consistent and disciplined in doing certain things and behaviors, and I got the results of it. When I wasn't achieving the goal that I set out to achieve, it wasn't any external reason besides just me not being as disciplined, as consistent of putting that goal in front of me every day. So the first thing that we do in January, like I said before, is a vision board workshop and goal setting. And that's important because when you look at the activities that involves, the first thing that involves is you having specific goals and writing down clear goals. We talked about having SMART goals. SMART goals stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. And so with every goal, whether that's in your health, your family, your job, your career, your community, your spiritual growth, whatever goal you have, use that SMART acronym to make sure that it's specific, that you have it's time-bound, and you can measure yourself to see whether you've accomplished it or not. So that's step number one, have specific SMART goals. The second thing is to take those goals and then create some kind of visual representation of what it is to achieve it. And the vision board is like not a static vision board. You create it, and it's an evolving document or image of what you want to achieve. On my vision board, I have a combination of words and images. So in the center of my vision board, I have the greatest miracle. And I may have talked to you about that before. There is a book written by Og Mandino, and it's called The World's Greatest Miracle. And it's a reminder that we're all given unique talents and a purpose in life. And we're created in the image of the Creator. So we have all of the necessary abilities and skills and things that we need to manifest that purpose. And it's a reminder that if I'm ever having limited thoughts, I need to shake that off because it's not true, it's false. So I have that in the center, and then around, going clockwise, I have goals of creating of who I want to be, being patient, listening more, being compassionate, being grateful. And then on the outside of that, I have my material goals of me being physically healthy, me attracting abundance and wealth through my ideas, my family, and where I want to live, and just being peaceful. I'll share that with you at another time. But the point I'm making is that in January, you should have specific goals for your year, For the midterm, like 3 years from now, 5 years from now, long term, make them as specific as possible, and then create your vision board, which is a physical imagery representation of what you want to accomplish. And then the other thing is to have an accountability partner. So if you have specific goals, a vision board, and then you can always find somebody that can watch the game with you. If you were watching the game the Cowboys play last weekend, you can find somebody to do that. You can find somebody to go shopping with. You can find somebody to do planification with. But can you find somebody that can really meet with you and ask you, hey, how are you doing on your goals? Whether it's losing weight, whether it's saving money, whether it's starting your business, whatever it is. Having an accountability partner really helps. But I also want to make sure that you know that having an accountability partner doesn't remove you from being accountable for doing the work. So nobody can control you. Nobody's watching over you like a teacher. It's on you to accomplish your own goals. But just having somebody that you can bounce some things off and be accountable to making sure that you're doing what you say makes a big difference. So I'm spending a lot of time on the first part of that because that's more important than anything else. The key factor is not knowledge or any of those other factors if you don't have a specific goal to take action on. So that's step number one. January, we're always talking about goal setting. If you want to see that, all of our programs are on YouTube. So you can go on YouTube and see what we've done on vision boarding for the past couple of years. So that's our first topic and theme in January. The next topic and theme that we have is entrepreneurship. And I believe that we all have ideas that can set us financially free. It's just a matter of, are we really acting on them? Now, not all of us might be wired for starting a business and taking on that risk, but I would say that we all have more potential than we think we do. And if the next step, once you identify your goals, is to start some kind of business to create multiple streams of income, then I want to give you the tools necessary and the resources around you to assist you in taking that idea and making it bigger. So the things to do during the entrepreneurial workshop is to, number one, nurture your idea. Do some research around it. So there's a number of resources that you have with the Small Business Development Center, other resource partners of SCORE that can help you think through that idea. So market research is important to identify your customers, your competitors. How do you flesh out and do the research to make sure that this service that you want to provide is truly adding value to the marketplace, and there are people who are willing to pay for it. The second thing is to have a business plan or a business model. And that's where you think through different aspects of starting a business. A lot of people just go out and start doing things, and you can always start a business, create an entity, and start selling stuff. But if you haven't thought through your marketing plan, your operational plan, who your team is, how you're going to attract customers, and then also the financial projections, then you really haven't thought it through. And if you need more resources to get things done, then it's important for you to have thought that through to make sure that when you're going to people and investors, that they're going to be able to get a return on their investment. That being said, the other thing to do is to make sure that your credit is strong. So you have a market research, you have a business plan, make sure you know the financials and your credit is strong, and the next thing will be networking. So if you have an interest in any industry, you should be networking with people who are in that industry. So there's a lot of organizations out there that are entrepreneurial organizations. So you can look at National Entrepreneurial Association, or if your industry is accounting or finance or engineering or any kind of retail sales, you can find some type of national organization to begin networking with other like-minded individuals. But in February, we're always going to support you with entrepreneurship. Now, even though we're talking about different themes each month, that's not the only month you think about it, right? That's just the theme for the month. But the goal is to continually build upon those things. So it's your vision, your goals for the year. If you have a business idea, let's take that business to the next level, like fleshing out that idea, or taking that business to the next level, scaling it, whatever it might be. But do the research, create your business plan, network with other like-minded professionals, and know the financials of your business. If you have any questions about any one of these themes or any one of the action items that I'm mentioning for each month, then you can always email me at thrive@empoweringseries.com, and we'll do a deeper dive. I'll connect you with resources to take the next step, or I might give you the resource directly if I have it for you. The third month, which is March, we talk about credit management. And we talk about credit management, understanding your credit score, your credit report, because in most cases, attracting or accomplishing any kind of goal is going to take resources. And if you don't have the resources yourself, the financial resources yourself, then you get access to that by relationships and then by credit. And if you don't have a good personal credit, we can help you with that. If you don't have credit because you haven't established it yet, we can help you with that as well. So what does that entail? The first thing that it entails is really making sure that you know what's on your credit report. So going to annualcreditreport.com and getting your credit report from the 3 credit reporting bureaus, that's very, very important to know what's at least there. Then the next thing you got to do is if you have any debt, just pay them on time. What's going to help you pay them on time is having a budget, and I'll talk more about that later. But the key is not any magic wand or quick fix. If you don't have credit, the goal is to identify how do you establish credit by getting a secure credit card or other types of credit cards and just paying your bills on time to show that you can pay back what you borrow. As simple as that. And then limit your use of credit. So if you have a $5,000 credit card, don't charge $5,000. Charge around $1,000 or $2,000 at the most, and pay that back. That establishes good credit, and then just manage your debt. Now, if you've already have made some mistakes, you got to clean up on your debt, then budgeting is the key to that, and then start paying your bills on time. If you need some assistance, there's a lot of companies that will charge you to either help you repair your credit or settle your debts. I would encourage you to take advantage of free services first. So I always recommend Money Management International. Their website is moneymanagement.org. They are the largest nonprofit financial counseling and financial education company in the world, in the United States. So that's one good company. They have certified credit counselors that will meet with you, give you a consultation for free, and give you advice, help you set up a budget. So again, go to their website, moneymanagement.org. And then there's also the National Foundation for Credit Counseling. So that's the nfcc.org. 2 nonprofit organizations that are national. Their 800 numbers are 24 hours a day. You can talk to somebody. I would encourage you to explore those options first in getting education and information about how you can improve your credit and what things you can do, what's on your credit, and understanding that, in addition to watching the Empower series, before you pay somebody to do something that you are empowered to do yourself. So back on understanding your credit score and credit report, the things I would encourage you to do: go to annualcreditreport.com, get your credit report, pay your bills on time. If you're having trouble doing that, then you can definitely reach out to me at thrive@empowerseries.com. I can give you some resources, but contact Money Management International or National Foundation Credit Counseling and see what type of services they can offer you to help you budget and then improve your credit and then slowly get rid of debt. So that's the first 3. So we've done the first quarter. The first quarter is that you've got goals. You have an idea that can set you financially free. You just need to act on that and get your credit straight. The next thing we'll talk about is financial literacy. So what is financial literacy? Financial literacy is just like reading, being knowledgeable. But it's more than just knowledge. Knowledge without action is not going to change anything. I first want to share with you some studies that shows the importance of financial literacy. The National Financial Capability Council, so not the National Financial Literacy Council, the National Financial Capability Council. Capability means it's not just knowing, it's actually applying. So there's a 2023 National Financial Capability Survey that shows low level of financial literacy. The survey revealed that a significant portion of Americans struggle with basic financial concepts, such as compound interest and budgeting. So if you're struggling with that, if you don't know what compound interest is, you're not alone. But I'm going to give you some areas to focus on to improve upon that. Also, retirement preparedness. Most Americans are not adequately prepared for retirement. That's because there's a low savings rate, They have a limited understanding of retirement planning and strategies. And so I always encourage you to go to a financial advisor or talk to your employer if you have a 401k, have a better understanding of that. If you have any questions, you can ask me, but I'm not going to give you specific financial advice or investment advice. I'm going to connect you to the resources to get those questions answered. The other two areas is debt management. Credit card debt remains a significant issue for many consumers with limited knowledge of debt management strategies. That's why we covered understanding your credit report and credit scores in March. And then lastly, financial education. The survey highlighted the need for increased access to financial education programs to help individuals improve their financial knowledge and skills. The study provides valuable insights into the financial literacy challenges faced by Americans and underscores the importance of targeted financial education initiatives. So, the Empower Series. The Empower Series is here to address that need. And every April, which is National Financial Literacy Awareness Month, we're here addressing that. And so the four areas that can always be improved upon is budgeting, or our budgeting, savings, investing, and tax planning. So budgeting is your way of making sure that you're tracking the money that's coming in, the money that's going out. Income and expenses, that's like breathing. Saving is getting your rest. It's like, you can't just go on 24 hours a day, you'll burn out. So you've got to put some stuff aside to save, creating an emergency fund, and also saving for long-term goals. Investing, that's where I'm going to encourage you to meet with a certified financial planner or a financial advisor. There's also other professionals like insurance, but look at holistic planning when you look at investing, and then also tax planning. So what's important for the last 2 points is to connect with professionals, financial professionals. One of the objectives of the Empower Series is to make sure that you are astute users of financial professionals. Actually, in September, it's National Financial Literacy Month. So mark your calendars for September 21st. You can go to our website, www.empowerseries.com, and you'll see that we have a certified financial planner addressing financial literacy, or life insurance in the month of September. So that's very important for you to understand. Also in the month of September, besides it being my birthday month, it's also the month that in North Texas, there's a foundation that does the North Texas Giving Day, which is September 19th. But it actually started September 1st. And what that is that there's a lot of nonprofits out there. There's $1 million nonprofits, and there's smaller nonprofits where just people are volunteering their time getting things done. But in any event, it takes money to make those, to accomplish the mission of the nonprofit. It takes money, it takes people willing to commit their time and their talents to make things happen. So the Empower Series is not being done alone. AE Media Group has been a player since 2016 in helping us reach the world and making us look good on social media. But we have volunteers behind the scenes that are at every event, and people who are not able to come to the event, but they're spreading the word, and they have people who are coming. So nothing of significance can ever be done alone. And in September, during North Texas Giving Month, is where you have the opportunity to give awareness or to increase the awareness of other nonprofits that you are passionate about. So whether it's for children, whether it's for pets, whether it's for health or community engagement or financial literacy in the Empower Series, please take the time and share the nonprofit that you are passionate about with more people, because the more people who know, the more people that can be impacted, and the more resources that can be directed to accomplishing that mission. So sharing your nonprofit with other people, getting people more to volunteer and donate their talents, as well as donating finances and their money. So if you go to our website, you'll see that there is an image of North Texas Giving Day. You can definitely click and donate, or you can give your contact information to stay engaged and get information from us, and let us know if you want to volunteer to give your time or your talent. So I kind of deviated from that, but that's what September is all about. But back to financial literacy, I was telling you, there's always a level of increasing your financial literacy. The basics is budgeting, saving, investing, and tax planning. But no matter what your financial literacy IQ is, you can always increase it. If you want to get more information about anything that's related to anything that we deal with, you can go to our YouTube channel, or you can just email me at thrive@empowerseries.com. Now, in the month of May, we talk about education. And so whether it's college or whether it's advanced education, getting your master's, your PhD, or a trade, some kind of advanced education, it's worth the investment. But what's also important is that if you can get that education without spending your money or going into debt, it's even a better return for you. So in May, we always talk about finding scholarships to go to college or get an advanced degree. And if you start early, so whether you have a young child in elementary school or high school, it doesn't matter when you start, you just need to start. So outside of yesterday being the best time you should have started working on this, the second best time is now. Start looking, because my son was able to get scholarships to get a degree in architecture at The Ohio State University with no student loans. And you hear about these stories all the time, but it takes work and effort. So you got to research thoroughly the different sources of where you can get scholarships. If you want to go to our YouTube channel and find the program on that, you can. If you just want to email me, you can email me at thrive@empowerseries.com. But explore research databases, which is step number one. Number two, you got to look at the criteria, because there are scholarships for pretty much everything you can think of, whether you're a veteran, whether you're a single parent, whether you are an ethnicity group, whatever your category is, there's some organization that is willing to help you get your education. You just got to dig in and do the work. So make sure you meet whatever the eligibility requirements are. You also got to write a compelling application. The young lady, Tandy Caraway, who did our scholarship workshop, is a great resource for you. There are Facebook groups that are free, but then there are people who will actually help you put together a program for your son or daughter, if they're in high school, to prepare them to do a compelling application for a scholarship, as well as networking is important. So the four things to do when it comes to finding a scholarship for either an undergrad degree or an advanced degree is you've got to make sure that you're doing the research and do a thorough research and finding the database that has the information, that you're meeting the eligible criteria, that you're creating a compelling story. And everybody has a compelling story. Your story is unique. So make sure you have a compelling story through the application process and network. So build relationships with potential scholarship givers and providers. If whatever industry you want to get a degree in, there is a national organization that is giving scholarships away. I've been on so many groups and organizations that have money for students, and for one reason or another, we don't have enough people applying for it. So you hear about that all the time, but it's not as easy as you think. You got to apply, and you got to prepare for it. So if you want more information, again, I'm going to keep giving you my email address, because I would like to have more engagement. Email me at thrive@empowerseries.com, and we'll get it done. So we're in the month of June, halfway through. June is National Homeownership Month. So in June, we always talk about the resources that are out there at the city level, the county level, the state level for down payment assistance or renovating your home. The underlying premise of the Empower Series is that there's resources around us that are underutilized. And there's resources around us within reach to help you take that next step. So the Empower Series, the acronym of the Empower Series is empowering the masses to plan and organize for wealth and education within reach. So there are resources within reach that can help you take the next step. You just need to be connected with them. So in addition to us giving you hope that you're going to achieve whatever dream you have, your vision board is attainable, we inspire you to take actions and discipline, consistent action on your ideas. We educate you, and then we connect you to resources to help you take that next step. Those are the four things that we do in all of our programs. And when it comes to being prepared to buy a home, it goes back to your credit. You want to make sure that you have a good credit score. And no matter what your credit score is, let's take a snapshot of what it is, and let's start doing the things to improve it. So that's the step number one. If you want to be a home purchaser, improve your credit score. And then save for a down payment. That's going to help with you by budgeting. You want to make sure that you can afford the added expenses of living in a home and still be able to save. So saving for a down payment is important. When you're ready to start looking, you want to get pre-approved for a mortgage. You can get pre-qualified, but pre-qualified is not really an approval. It's just doing kind of like this and saying, okay, given your income and your expenses, you should be able to qualify for a home. But if you really want to know how much of a home you can afford, you want to go through the pre-approval process, which will require the mortgage company doing a hard inquiry on your credit report. And then the home buying process is much more involved. On September 19th, in 2024, in September 19th, we're doing a home buying process that I encourage you to attend. Because not only will you find out about the whole process, and we're doing this in September, we also did it in June, but we are meeting with a bank that has mortgage options that can allow you to finance 100% of your home purchase up to $500,000, no down payment, no PMI, and a very good credit score. Your credit score will be, 620 to as low as 580 possibly, but we'll look at the details later. So if you want to come to that, go to our website, www.empowerseries.com. You'll see the flyer. Click on the flyer. You can register for it. It's going to be in person at University of North Texas in Dallas, the South Dallas campus. It's going to be there. If you can't be there in person, you can definitely go ahead and see us. You can live stream us. So there's no reason, no matter where you are in the world, you should go to this workshop on the 19th. It's at 6:00 p.m. Central Time. That's when we're going to network and meet people. At 6:30, it's going to begin live streaming. You can find out more about the home buying process and begin making the connections to help you be able to get into a home and use the down payment assistance that's available for you, regardless of what city or state you live in, as well as if you're in the state of Texas, find out the kind of specific programs in Texas and Colorado that can help you get into a home with no money down. So that's in June, we talk about home purchasing. So we're halfway through the year. We talked about vision boarding, we talked about entrepreneurship, improving your credit, increasing your financial literacy IQ, finding scholarships for education, and being prepared to buy a home. So that's a lot of information, a lot of knowledge. Knowledge with no action is dead, but that's the first half of the year. And then in July, what we talk about is physical fitness, because all of the knowledge and the money in the world does not replace you being in good health. So there, we start back with setting up realistic goals. So we all need to improve, like we need to sleep more, we need to move more, eat better, and so set some realistic goals. What are your goals when it comes to your health? Find something that's enjoyable for you to move and do. I like yoga. When I was younger, I still lift weights, but when I was younger, I used to do a lot more lifting of weights, and I played football and did a lot more activity. But now that I got bad knees, I do more yoga. Do more yoga, and swimming is a good thing. Eating, nutrition is important, and then being consistent. So the 4 things to do when it comes to increasing your level of health and physical fitness is set realistic goals. So you can go to a gym and do a free consultation. Tyro Johnson, my nephew, was the one who has led us in July on workout programs that are low impact. We walked the Ron Kirk Bridge this year in 2024. If you go to our YouTube channel, there's 8 short videos of beginner and intermediate exercises that you can do if that's the beginning. But whatever you do, you should always check with your doctor before you start any exercise program. But start doing some kind of movement, whether it's stretches, yoga, something light, and then build up. Make sure the activity is enjoyable and you like doing it because you want to be consistent in doing it. What we put in our body is fuel. So in addition to exercising, a balanced diet is like 80% of being healthy. They say your abs are made in the kitchen. It's not just doing crunches. And then lastly, being consistent. So regular exercising, even if it's walking around the block or doing push-ups in the morning or sit-ups, being disciplined and consistent is more important than working out for an hour and a half, right? Be consistent and disciplined about your workout. Making small changes for a long period of time will get you where you need to be. So that's July, physical fitness. And then in August, we talk about growth mindset. And growth mindset and mental health. And so that's what and these things all tie in. If you look at the very beginning, we talked about visioning, and I mentioned to you that my morning routine includes affirmations. So saying positive affirmations to challenge any negative thoughts that are coming into our mind. News is negative. You know, people telling us things that we don't want to hear. I'm telling you that if we don't give intentional attention to putting positive things around our mind and, you know, washing all that negativity out before we go to bed and starting out fresh in the morning, then we're setting up more hurdles for us. So being positive, being mindful and meditating is always an important habit. Seeking support, because we did a program in August on mental health. And a lot of times people have a stigma around that. But I'll tell you that your mind is an organ. Is an organ, and the way you think is an organ, like your kidneys. So if you have a problem with your kidneys or your heart, you'll go to a doctor. And you do annual checkups as well. So what type of checkup are we doing on our mental health? So our mind is an organ just like any other organ part, and sometimes it doesn't function well. And we need to make sure that it's functioning well, do preventative exercises. So meditation is one part of that. Keeping a journal is another part of that. Reading positive things, seeking support, and continuously learning. So when it comes to a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset, a growth mindset says that whatever result I get is a result of my effort. It's not a fixed reflection of who I am and my ability to grow. And so if a growth mindset says that whatever result I get is a result of my effort, if I put forth more effort, if I learn more, I can get a better result, that's more of a growth mindset. A fixed mindset says whatever result I get is the way it is. I can't change anything. And so, you know, fixed mindset is not going to help you achieve your goals as much. Having a growth mindset is important. And the way you grow that is positive affirmations, mindfulness, meditation, seeking support, and also continuous learning. Those are the 4 things that we do during the month of August to advocate growth mindset and mental health. In September, I mentioned that to you before, is life insurance. So what you'll find out in our life insurance workshop, if you're able to come to it or look at a previous one that we've done, is we want to make sure that you're assessing your need. No one can tell you how much life insurance you need. We can ask you questions to help you figure that out, but it's important for you to assess your needs. It's important for you to understand the different types of life insurance, temporary life insurance, more of a permanent type. Of the permanent type, what are the different types are there besides whole, universal, variable universal, index universal? There's a ton out there, but there's no one life insurance that accomplishes all of your goals. There's a place for every type of life insurance, and what's important is for you to educate yourself, meet with a financial advisor or an insurance agent, and really make sure you understand it. You understand your needs, you understand the different types, you're able to compare the different policies, and you review your needs on a regular basis. Because if you're single, you may not need a lot, but it's important for you to get some while you're healthy and young. As you get older and you're getting married and have more people dependent upon you, you may need more life insurance. You may need more life insurance for a permanent perspective or a temporary perspective. And you need to look at how much it costs. So there's a lot of different moving pieces. In September, on September 21st, we'll talk more in detail about that, or you can see a program that we've done before on our YouTube channel. But the 4 things is to assess your needs, know the different types, compare the types, and regularly review your need for life insurance, because nobody can tell you what you need, but in your life, over time, your needs are going to change. So that's what we talk about in September. In October, we talk about estate planning. And estate planning is more than just creating a will, a power of attorney, medical power of attorney, designating your beneficiaries, considering if you have a trust, and reviewing that. It's more than that. Because at some point, we're not going to wake up. And we got to think about, what do we want to leave behind for our family? One of the things that you'll realize is that we can't take any of this stuff with us. So you'll never see a U-Haul behind a hearse. But people are going to be affected by you not being here. And what type of emotional impact do you want to leave? You do that by being mindful of your time now, the preciousness of it, and creating relationships and good memories. But you also want to make sure that when we pass away and we don't wake up, we don't leave a mess for our family. And so we do that by just making sure that our life is organized. How we're taking care of our bills is organized, because before we pass away, we may lose the capacity to actually keep current with our bills or take care of ourselves physically. And so we need to talk about the power of attorney, medical power of attorney, the financial power of attorney, things of that nature. And those are tough conversations to have. It's a tough conversation to have if you have an elderly parent, but it's also a tough conversation for us to have for ourselves, to look at ourselves to say, is our stuff in order? And I do that all the time, and my stuff can be in better order. So having a conversation with a professional about that, you can email me at thrive@empowerseries.com. I can give you free resources to look at. I would encourage you to meet with an attorney if you want to get documents lined up, like your will, your power of attorney, medical power of attorney, as well as a trust. But you definitely need to increase your knowledge about those documents, what they can entail, having the conversation with a professional, and then reviewing that process on a regular basis as your life changes. And then the last program that we do is in November, where we talk about putting it all together. And here we talk about having a balanced life. We usually have somebody come in who share their story about how they've overcome adversity to achieve a goal and what they've learned from it. And it gives you an example to where no matter where you are, you're not alone. Because I think the even playing field is an idea. We all have ideas. And like I said before, we've all been given a unique purpose and talent. And there's 8.12 billion people in this world, and each one of us are unique, and the world is waiting for us. So with that being said, when are we going to step out and do and fulfill our purpose? There are people waiting for us. There are people waiting to be touched by us. There's people waiting for our message. And just like right now, whoever I'm talking to you. If you're feeling me, then you're meant to be feeling me right now. If I'm touching you, then you're meant to be touched by me. If I'm inspiring you to have hope, if I'm inspiring you to take action, am I educating you somewhat? That's great. And more importantly, I want to stay connected with you to help you take that next step to achieve your goal and know that your vision is possible to achieve. So really having a balanced life, setting realistic goals, continuing to learn, and networking. Because as I said before, nothing of significance can ever be done alone. A relationship is when you have somebody coming into your life and they're doing one of four things. They're either adding, subtracting, dividing, or multiplying. And so we want to spend time with people who are adding to our lives and we're adding to theirs. And through that effect, there's a rippling effect of multiplication where many, many lives are being touched. So I just went through this very quickly. It's taken almost 50 minutes to go through it, but I just want to make sure that you guys understand that there's a rhyme and method to this. Every month we have a different theme, starting with your vision and your goals, and realizing that whatever you envision, whatever you can imagine is real. If you're disciplined and you're consistent in believing in it and being intentional with the attention that you give it, then you have an idea. Some people have ideas that are bigger than them, and you need more people to make that happen. And some of them is like you're working and you still need people. So whether you're an employee, an employer, or entrepreneur, it doesn't matter. You have a purpose and you have an idea. And so in February, if your idea is creating a multiple source of income and starting a business, we have resources to connect you to that. In March, it's about credit management and understanding your credit. In April, we're increasing your level of financial literacy IQ. In May, we're talking about finding scholarships to help you pay for your advanced education. And then in June, we're helping you buy a house, which is the foundation for creating wealth. In July, we're working on physical fitness. In August, we're working on the mind, body, and soul. In September, we're doing life insurance, preparing for, at some point, we're not going to be here, and estate planning. We want to make sure that our life is in order for our loved ones so that they're not, they're already going to grieve our loss. And the last thing we want them to do is figure out, okay, so what do we do with this stuff, right? So those are the 11 topics that we cover every year, but those topics are everyday topics. And the Empower series is here for you. So I want you to stay connected with us. I hope that I was able to give you some inspiration to take action on what I've said. If you are perfect, if you score 100% on everything I've talked about, then you're perfect. But if there's one area that you can do better in, and I believe that we can all do better, I can do better, then please stay connected with the Empower series. Reach out to us at thrive@empowerseries.com. What you can also do, if you have been to a program and it has been beneficial for you, please go to our website at www.empowerseries.com and click on the top right-hand corner and click on Take Survey and let us know how we've done. Because in that way, I can show to the people who have supported the Empower series what the impact is. And that will help us get additional funding to scale and reach a wider group of people. If you want to get involved and provide some of your talents and some of your resources, whether it's in any area to help us grow and scale, please contact me or go to our website and give us your contact information. If you want to volunteer your time or even if you want to donate money, you can do that as well. So I want to thank you for your hour that you spent with me today. Hopefully I've given you some background about what the Empower series is and why it started. This is what I believe my purpose is, to create a community of people that are empowering each other and knowing that, hey, that we are empowered to achieve the vision that we have for our life and for other people around us. So I want to thank you, and until we meet again, be empowered to thrive.